So, this video and the ones that are to come, the main intent and purpose of them are primarily just to be able to look back at how my thoughts, how my life and perceptions, let's say, all of those things are developing, right? Also, on top of that, I'm working on verbalizing the way that I am experiencing life and how all that comes into play, which, it's not very easy to do, in my opinion. At least for many, I would say, my opinion. So this is also a way of me being able to communicate things, or a way for me to practice being able to communicate things effectively, right? And so these videos primarily are intended to just help my development, help my understanding of things, and hopefully with time be able to be used as a what's the right word? Can't think of as a determining factor as to whether or not the way I'm approaching life right now and things is useful. Yeah, because as an example, I am studying the Bible, building my faith, all those things, so forth, so on. And I try to be a very realistic person. And so it's a hard balance, balancing the Bible, faith, religion, call it what you want to call it, with the reality of life, right? And so I'm trying to do that, and one of the things I ponder on, and that I feel other people object to when it comes to individuals who are strong in their faith is, how do you know that's going to work? How do you know that you having a faith, believing in God, whatever, is actually going to benefit you, instead of it actually just limiting you from being able to do the things you want to do? Valid. That's a valid argument. Very valid argument. So, I don't know. What I do know is that I don't know how to explain it yet. Hopefully I will one day. Maybe not. I don't know. But something in me is just saying that I have to stay true to my faith, true to the path I'm currently on, regardless of what that might entail, because that is, one, the right thing to do, let's say, and then two, is what's going to ultimately lead to the best potential outcome in this life and the next. Again, if I'm wrong, I would like for these videos to be to demonstrate that, and vice versa. If I'm right, I would like these videos to demonstrate that. So it's almost like let's say an experiment, right? Me and my approach to life right now, whatever. And then so there's like let's say a diary of sorts that I'm doing. So that way I can look back, better understand why and where I was during those times, and kind of where I am at that point in time, And then again, hopefully others can look back depending upon where this life takes me, because and this might be a bit egotistical is not the word I wanted to use, but that works. This might be a bit egotistical of me to say, but I do believe in that the way I'm approaching life right now, that it's going to lead to a lot of joy, a lot of success, and fulfillment. That's what I believe. But I don't know. He does. So that's what's happening. That's what I'm doing. Now, with that being said, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and give myself some context as to where I am and where I was. I think that's good. Let's go to where I was. And I'll try to make this as short as possible. Where was I? Well, okay. For the longest time, I used to say things like I don't believe in the Bible. And I would say with good reason. I mean, I've had other people tell me what I used to say to people who say they read the Bible, believe the Bible, they believe that the Bible is the Word of God, whatever, what have you. I used to say, well, I don't believe that because this thing called the Bible is written by man, human, and humans are sinful in nature. So how can I come to believe that this book, that was written by a bunch of men, different individual men, is the Word of God? I would say that's a valid argument. But then, without me getting into the weeds, if you really think about it though, it's very, very hard, like at least for me now, to not believe that this thing called the Bible that was written by a bunch of men in different time in history is not the Word of God. Because first of all, it's absurdly old. Thousands of years old, first of all. Second of all, it's transcended, so it's transcended time, but it's also transcended men, right? Like somehow it's been able to avoid destruction and tyrannical dominance, whatever. It's been able to go through the history of time and everything that comes with that. That's interesting. That's interesting. That's impressive, I would call it. So it's done all of that. And I mean, if you look, again, I'm in my current pursuits of understanding the Word of God, the Bible, whatever. I am less than a novice, I would say. Less than a novice. So, mind you, what I say now is not well developed. So hence another reason why I'm doing these videos, because I would like to see my progression, see kind of what I'm learning and so forth. But what I was gonna say is, if you look at history of the Bible and the Jewish people and what all of those things, it's for me, I think about that, I educate myself on those details, and I go, the more I do that, the more I go, it's very hard to believe that this book is not isn't created by something more than just man. It's anyways, different conversation, different day. So I used to say I don't believe in the Bible, and I used to say I would never read the thing because it's scary. It's a freaking phone book, it's tiny little print. Jeez. So, and I'm not a big reader. I'm not. I wish I was. Nowadays, I do a lot of audio booking, which is very convenient and useful for me. But I'm just not a big reader. But why did I start doing that then? So, all right. When was it? 2022? 23 March. No, 2023. In March of 2023, I became a financial advisor. Financial representative at first, but I ended up getting all the necessary licensing to call myself a financial advisor, but whatever, let's just financial advisor to make it simple. I became a financial advisor. I took on a new route, a new path. Prior to that, right, I wanted to be an actor. I was in the arts. I was an artistic person, still am, and I'm going to continue to pursue that now in this year of 2025. But I changed trajectories to try something new, and that was fun. It was challenging, very hard. I still am surprised by how long I lasted. Because I didn't know anything. I mean, I knew math, I knew general finances and things like that. I took financial accounting in college and so forth, but I did not know sales. I did not know the understanding of relationships when it comes to business. I did not know the in-depth abundance of information that comes with finances. Jeez, I didn't know any of that. So it was challenging. But I did it for over a year. And then, I mean, yeah, I was doing okay. At the time when I left it, it was really the time when it seemed like I was about to hit that point where I was just going to go up, right? But many other reasons, but the primary thing that caused me to pull the trigger on leaving was, my mom had surgery on her hands. I had to care for her. It was complex, everything else, couldn't keep my meetings, blah blah blah, whatever. Point being, I finally said, okay, I need to let this go, and I was stubborn because I told myself at least 2 years, because I truly believe at that time, and even more so now, that if you're gonna, it's okay to do something new that you've never done before, that's scary, that's uncertain, that's new, whatever. I think that's okay. Now, some people could say, and I've had people tell me, and I disagree with them wholeheartedly, what did they know, but whatever, that it was a waste of time. Why'd I do something like that? It was a waste of time. The chances of succeeding are so low, this and that, and whatever. No, incorrect. Not a waste of time. Now, not a waste of time for me. It could be a waste of time for somebody who did all that whatever for a year, which is, again, I was a little over a year, but a year, and then they left and didn't take any of the new gained experience, knowledge, information with them. Just decided, oh, I suck, I'm lame, I'm gonna fall into a pit of depression and woe me, yada. Okay, yes, that person, unfortunately for them, that time that they spent doing that thing was a waste. But that's not the thing's fault. That's the person's fault. But that's my perspective on that. Anyways. So, it wasn't a waste of time. It was not at all. Because even though I didn't make it, the newly gained information and experience and the person that I became and had to become in order for that experience to have lasted as long as it did, was immensely valuable to me and to the person that I am to become and that I'm working towards becoming, let's say. Immensely valuable. So it was not a waste of time. And I don't believe that any other thing I do moving forward, because I truly believe, again, if you're going to try something, do it. Try it for 2 years. That's what I think. If you can do it for 2 years, that's the goal. Because after 2 years, after 2 years, you'll be like, okay, yeah, I can keep this going. Or no, this ain't it. It ain't it. if you don't try new things, you don't know who you can become. Simply as that. If you stay on the same thing, and again, if the same thing is working for you and that's just the way things turned out for you, cool, that's great. Nothing wrong with that. But for people to say to somebody who's trying something new, something scary, something uncertain, oh, that's the bad idea, that's dumb. No, I don't, that's incorrect. I don't agree with that. Now, again, with certain limitations, after 2 or 3 years, if that thing you're doing is just not working at all, and you've tried changing it, right? Like you're not being dumb and just doing the same thing repetitively and, insanity, right? No, but you're adjusting and just none of it's really working out. Okay, yeah, you should, try something else. Try something else. And people can say it's a waste of time because you're so, you only have so much life. That's a different conversation for a different day. I'm not even going to go there. Okay, cool. Anyways, so when I left financial advising, I was in an interesting state of mind. I did, in some sense, feel like, I doubted myself. I thought to myself, did I waste my time? Am I a failure? This and that and this. But then that's when, it was right before I left, I started listening to a man who goes by the name of Myron Golden. And the way he spoke about the Bible, about God, and about religion made sense to me. One of the reasons I didn't really, I was born and raised Catholic, and I used to always say that I don't consider myself a Catholic because of the fact that the way I live my life, a Catholic will look at that and go, oh, that's not very Catholic. I can confidently say that I very much was addicted to sex or sexual satisfaction, let's say, masturbation, sex in general. That sin was what controlled my life. It really was. And so, yeah. So, and then outside of that too, I did, I've done drugs. I've done dumb things, bad things, human things, right? Cool, sinful things. But I didn't like the conversations of religion and such because I would look at people in my family and just people who claim to be religious followers of God, this and that and this, and they preach and verbalize certain things like love your neighbor, don't hate, don't judge, this and that, all these great things, beautiful things, peaceful things. But then they go out into the world and they don't practice what they preach. And I would see it firsthand, and it would confuse me. I'd be like, well, that doesn't work. That doesn't seem right to me. Okay, cool. So anyways, Myron Golden, this man that I just came across incidentally, the way he was speaking of all those things, all those topics, I'd be like, at first I didn't understand it all, nor do I fully agree with everything, but I agree with almost most things he says, the majority. But yeah, it was just making sense. It was making sense, and so I kept listening, and there were certain videos that made me emotional, this and that, and so ultimately I finally was like, you know what? His videos and his words encouraged me to say, I want to understand this thing, because one thing I realized, I was like, this man, he had been studying and understanding the Bible for decades, and so I trusted that what he had to say about it was as accurate as possible, but I didn't know, and I'm a person who, again, I don't just easily trust the words of anybody. And if I am going to trust the words of just anybody, I need to, for me, I need to have some understanding of what they are saying for me to fully be like, yes, right? So ultimately I was like, you know what? I am choosing to believe that what he is speaking of these topics is as accurate as possible, but I need to learn firsthand. I need to find out firsthand. So I started studying the Bible. Okay, cool, great. point I'm getting at is, since I started studying the Bible, and since I started listening to this man, and I started listening to other, other influencers or successful individuals who are doing the things that I would like to do, right? But besides that, since I started studying the Bible and finding my faith in God, the God of the Bible, I have found a peace and, as best as I can currently comprehend, a understanding of the world, let's say, that I've never fully attained before, or understood before, or have had before. And I know that doesn't make full sense, but I don't want to go into the details of that right now. But yeah, there's just this peace that I have found that I can't explain. There's this way of thinking I have gained that I can't explain. The only way I can explain it is by saying that it's not mine. It isn't. It's God's. And that in itself, right? That's so easy for people to, like me, say that, and people hear that and going, oh, well, that's absurd. Oh, I mean, that's yours. Like, that's you. But it's like, no. I don't think that had I not studied the Bible, had I not listened to the words of that man, Myron Golden, had I not done any of that, I don't believe that I would have what I currently have. I don't believe that to be true at all. But whatever. You want to know? Again, that's the point here, right? That's why I'm doing this. Because in time will tell. Time will tell. My words won't. Your words won't. Time will. Hopefully my words will. Anyways. So, again, the big thing is, outside of just the Bible, right? And outside of just those topics, inside of the topics of success, becoming a better person, taking care of yourself health-wise, taking care of your loved ones, all those things as well, that I am just going to express my thoughts and experiences on these videos with the intention of, again, being able to look back at it so I can better ascertain how my development has been going, as well as hopefully over time down the line be able to confirm whether or not what I am doing is beneficial. Hopefully not just to me, because one of the big things is, since I started finding my faith in things, this is what I believe that my purpose in life is wholeheartedly, and I truly believe that this is the purpose of everybody, anybody who is human, everybody who is born, whatever. Again, that's what I believe, but if you disagree, that's fine. But I truly believe that my purpose, for sure, in life is to please God and serve people. That is what I am setting as my foundation in how I move forward in life, what decisions I make, what approach I take with things, how I say words. It's just, is this thing that I'm saying, is this thing that I'm doing, is this thing that I'm attaining, whatever, is it going to please God and serve people? If not, no. If yes, let's run it up. So, I think I'll leave it at that. Yeah. I'm intrigued. I think that's the best word. I am very intrigued to see how this goes. So,